And especially if you're going before someone, that's bad. If you're following someone, that's bad. It's like, they hit it out of the ballpark. What do you do with that? Give you a story from my life. Just in January, it was a year ago. I was in Philippines at Manila, and doing a conference on discipleship for 26 Asian countries. Big church. The church would seat 10,000 people. So amazing place. So they invited 2 speakers to this conference. 2 Indian speakers to this conference. I was one Indian. The other Indian was Ravi Zacharias. My point. You just made my point. So I'll tell you, I'll be very transparent with you right now. I'll be very transparent with you. Did you not just feel bad for me immediately right there? Did you not just want to just sympathize with me and say, hey, Sam, you're good, man. You're all right. Yeah, you're all right. You're not that bad. He's good, but you're good too. You're good too. Don't you feel like encouraging spirit coming on you right now? So I'm going to take you into that room. A little over 10,000 people. Amazing. I got pictures on my phone. I can show you. Amazing platform. My wife and I, Brenda and I, are sitting on the front row. And Robbie is just going on. He's making up words that we know they are not such words, but because it's Robbie, it has to be a word. He's quoting people. He's making, he is amazing. PowerPoints. He has a suit and a tie on. I had skinny jeans. He's been to that conference 30 times. It was my first time. They didn't know me, they knew him. So I'm sitting there, I'm just saying, Lord, let him do really bad. I'm just I know that was not right, but I'm being honest at least. I'm being honest about my badness. Lord, let him do really bad. And then my wife, she just taking notes. And then she says to me, Sam, he's really good. She could have said something like, he's okay, but man, you're awesome. And there was no break. Pastor Tola, there was no break. So the way they had it was, he would finish up and come down. I know Robbie, he lives in Atlanta, so I know him, once a year we get together for lunch, talk about nothing, but that's how it is. So the deal was, he was going to finish up his work. He's going to walk down. Then the bumper video is going to come up, introducing me on the screens. Amazing, huge screens. And then because the place is so large, they got screens hanging, down the road too. And so the bumper's video is going to come on. It was going to be a 45-second bumper introducing me. And I was to walk up from there, walk around in those, and be at the podium when it stopped. So I get up from there. He finishes his thing. He comes around like this, and he comes and sits down on the front row right there next to Brenda. I get up when the bumper starts, walk around, come on over here. When I'm standing here, I had nothing. There was nowhere for me to go. He was amazing. And I had what I've been talking about, this kind of stuff. So can I tell you what I did for the next 10 minutes? For the next 10 minutes, I trashed Ravi. I made fun of him. I roasted him. I just said stuff about Ravi. Ravi, is that really a word? Everybody, is laughing and stuff. Then I say, you just make up stuff all the time. I'm Ravi Light. All right, I had a whole roasting thing for him. And everybody is just, my first time, they've never heard me before. So this Indian, all he gets introduced is a bumper on the video. And I get up here and I'm trashing Ravi. Ravi's sitting right there. And as I am doing that, you remember I talked in the first session 1,000 words and 200 words. You remember that? And all that stuff. I'm saying to myself, Sam, you're stupid. Sam, go into teaching. Sam, just be yourself. Everything that we've always said to other people, right? I'm hearing myself say to myself, Sam, go into teaching. Do what you do. They know who you are. They watched you on YouTube. They've never seen you before, but they know who you are. And that's why they invited you to do your thing. And finally, the gear shifted. And I went and did my thing, what I do, my gig that I did for you for the first session and this session. Do you know, it was in that moment I realized the power of being you. It was in that moment. Now understand this. At that time, I was 64. Kind of old to be figuring that out, right? Now, I have taught other people, be you. I've taught other people, you were born an original, why do you want to die a copy? I get that. But when I was in the moment, it was crazy. So I did my thing. They had never heard anybody do what I do, the way I do it. So this January, this 2017, they invited me back, but not Ravi. I sent Ravi a text. Left you in the dirt. They called me back. Where are you? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Smiley faces. Because in that community, in the Asian community, they don't do what I do. They basically teach and preach from the Bible. I chose not to use the Bible. But I'm still being biblical without quoting the Bible. It was in my old age that I understood what I'm telling you about. It is crazy, but who are you? I finally woke up to the fact, I'm Sam. This is who I am. This is what I do. I'm not him, I'm not her. I can preach like that, I don't teach like that. This is just me. I just did a conference 3 weeks ago in Columbus, Ohio, at a church that's a Word of Faith church. Word of Faith. Now that I got comfortable in that, I was okay with it, but I'm going to tell you the story. Word of Faith church. Now, if you don't know what Word of Faith, people preach from the Bible. I mean, they'll take you 2 Thessalonians, Jeremiah, Exodus, Revelation, turn your book to Galatians. I mean, you will flip the Bible the whole time. If you can remember Creflo Dollar's teaching, you just wear your Bible out. So they are Bible people. By now you know I'm a Bible person, but I'm not a Bible person. Nobody's ever accused me of being deeply spiritual. It's just not me. My dad was. I'm not. I pray, but that's about it. And there I am. There were two speakers before me, and they just went through the Bible. I'm talking about every one of them used at least 35, 40 texts in one message. That's the style. And then I get up there and do my thing. All I'm saying to you is, don't wait as long as Sam. Don't grow old like me till you wake up to the fact saying, I'm me. That God did not put me on the planet and then give me a purpose. He had a purpose. Therefore, He put me on the planet. The purpose was here on the planet before He put me here. So be yourself. Who am I? Let me give you another question to ask yourself. What time is it? What time is it? The question of maturity. What time is it? The question of maturity. The question of maturity. I have another confession for you. I know my life, I should be further down the road in my maturity than I am. I should be in a different place in my life, in maturity. So why is it when somebody cuts me off in traffic, I want to wave at them with half a peace sign? Why is it when somebody does something wrong, I feel like saying some words? I should be further down the road. What time is it? Should I be more mature than I am? When my wife and I are having an argument, well, Brenda and I don't have arguments. Brenda and I have vigorous interchange of concerned ideas. Yes. And so we're getting into it, and I'm talking about her mama, she's talking about my mama, and they're both dead. I ask myself, Sam, should you not be more mature than that? Do you ever ask yourself that question? Do you ever go off on something and then say, why? I should be further down the road. I know that about my life. I definitely should be further down the road. My question is, what time is it? What time is it? The question of maturity. I'm going to give you one last question. And then I'll receive your questions. And then after that, I have 3 things I want to say. This question that I'm about to give you, I consciously ask myself every day, at least 2 or 3 times a day. I've been doing that for about 25 years now. Every day, I ask myself the same question. I've been asking myself this question all these years. At least 2, 3 times a day. And here's the question. I'm going to give it to you 2, 3 times. It's kind of longer than the other ones. Here's the question. What is it about me that will keep me from becoming all that God intends for me to be? What is it about who? Me. That will keep me from becoming all that God intends for me to be. I give you another 10 seconds to write, and then I want us to say that together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. What is it about that will keep from becoming all that God intends for me to be? Because the question is about my own responsibility for my own life. How many of you know you cannot change another soul? I can't change my wife, she can't change me. We've been trying it. Hasn't worked out that well. We just celebrated in April our 38th wedding anniversary, and somebody said to me, somebody said, the first 38 years are the hardest. After that, it's easy. So I'm looking forward to that prophecy. What about me? What is keeping me from becoming all that God intends for? So in church, now hear me, and because I want to talk to pastors here, and preachers and leaders in churches. In church, it is so easy to blame somebody else. But there's nothing you can do about another human being. You cannot make anybody do anything. You can force, you can put fear, but you can't really make anybody do anything. So the only person that I can do something about is me. But once I take personal responsibility for my life, then I'm not blaming you. It's me. And that personal responsibility, my dear friend, starts at the highest level, at the leadership level. I have been in organizations long enough to know that if the top leader is not taking full responsibility for his or her actions, it becomes the culture of the organization. Then trickles down into the organization, trickles down into the church, and everybody else feels like if they had done this, then this wouldn't have happened. And there's somebody else who's responsible for my life. At the end of the day, I'm responsible for my life. And that's what leaders do. They take personal responsibility. I have no one else to blame. My life is where it is because of God's gifts and God's graces. It's as simple as that. I cannot blame you. It is what about me that will keep me from becoming all that God intends for me to be. It's all about me. I think this will be a good time for me to stop and see if there's a question or two, and then I want to finish up with you. Pastor Tola, I forgot. Am I supposed to end at 4:45? Is that the schedule? Okay, good. Yes, there's a question right there.
Yeah, I was just looking at your scripture for 3:12:70 cult, and I was thinking, where would if you are opportunity to have a spouse, which structure will it fall into? And maybe probably you have kids in the 3:12:70 and cult. Where would they fall into?
Where would you fall into?
Where would your spouse?
My spouse?
Yeah.
My spouse?
Or maybe your kids.
My spouse is part of all of this. You know, when I married Brenda, this is what happened in life. When I married Brenda in 1979, she would pray about something and I would pray about something, and God would tell her